I went into the live action Lilo and Stitch movie with the lowest expectations a human could have, but I'm happy to report this movie somehow missed those expectations and was completely garbage. Here's my full spoiler free thoughts on the best and worst parts of the film. First of all, we need to stop changing things just for the sake of saying, oh yeah, the live action one's actually different. Here's a new story element that you didn't have in the original. Like, no, if you're gonna already do something as creatively bankrupt as remake an animated film in live action, at least just make the story beat for beat the exact same. Because when you change things that are just so pointless, it just feels off. And when I say off, I really mean it, because for some reason the second half of this movie decides, you know what the original Lilo and Stitch needed? A lot more depressing melodramatic moments that make it feel like a soap opera. Yes, I do understand I am a grown man watching this Disney family film, but like there are some moments that are trying so hard to be like sad and serious that I was almost laughing out loud because of how forced it feels. Even to the point where I was trying to see this from the perspective of if I was a kid watching this, I think I would have gotten so bored and fallen asleep in the middle of the movie and then still woken up with like an hour left in the film, because this thing just drags on way longer than it should have, because again, we're just adding in pointless stuff and scenes to add on to the original animated film. Now before I continue ruthlessly hating on this movie, let me go over some positives. I do think the main cast is actually pretty solid. Like the Lilo actress is obviously just a kid actor, but she's doing pretty solid. The Nani girl, she was doing a good job. Stitch is the original voice actor, he was still great, and like Stitch, the effects do look very good. The absolute goats of the original, Pleakley and Jumba, do have some really funny moments. Zach Galifianakis obviously is going to be funny no matter what you put him in, but they do this weird thing, kind of a spoiler, not really, it's revealed in the trailers, that they're like humans most of the time instead of just being the aliens dressed in humans like they are in the original. Like obviously the logic of the Lilo and Stitch world makes no sense. Just have them be the aliens dressed in the clothes. Again, another absolutely pointless change, but they still had some funny moments. I do genuinely think like the first like 30 minutes of this film are just a genuinely fine, fun like reimagining of the original film, but then it just completely goes off the deep end. And there's really just incredibly weird decisions throughout this entire thing. Like the main villain of the original film isn't even in this movie for some reason. And as I mentioned briefly earlier, like the child services aspect of this movie, like I said, the drama is dialed up to 1,000 for no reason. And it's really hard not to be cynical of this one. Originally, this movie was going to be released on Disney Plus, and last year Disney made over $2.6 billion of Lilo and Stitch merchandise sales, meaning toys, shirts, all that stuff. One of the best-selling Disney franchises of all time. So I'm pretty sure they only made this movie just to sell more and more toys. It's just a ploy to sell stuff, which I understand. That's how Disney's so profitable from almost all of their franchises, but this feels like the worst offender of it yet. Like I said, you can definitely tell in the movie too, it was originally supposed to be a Disney Plus film. This does not feel like the quality of being a theatrical release, and the other decisions of like, oh, these characters that are CGI, we're gonna make them just humans for the majority so we don't have to spend money on actually making them what they look like. Now, I'm sure this movie's gonna make like $1 billion, and they're gonna end up turning all the very bad Lilo and Stitch sequels into more live action remakes of this for years and years to come, and just keep printing money. And if you're going with your family something this weekend, don't let me stop you. Like I said, I'm just some cynical grown man watching Lilo and Stitch. I gotta keep it honest with you guys. Like, I was even hopeful for this movie. I made videos saying like, oh, I think this is gonna be like the best of the very bad Disney live action remakes. It actually looks pretty faithful from the trailers for the most part, but it was just not. I give it like a 4 out of 10. If you've seen it, let me know your rating in the comments below. And if you want to see all my other reviews, like for Mission Impossible, Hurry Up Tomorrow, Snow White, and more, click the playlist above my head.